Hey there, guys. Welcome back to another Monster Super League episode. It's your boy Odin, and today I'm bringing you guys back another Astromon review. We're going to be taking a look at the brand new Nat 5 Astromon called Emperato, or Imperius, or Emperio. The models look actually really good. I really like the models. The Evo 1 and Evo 2, not so much, but the Evo 3 clearly is definitely aesthetically pleasing. Really good. Looks like a pretty awesome dragon. Let's see if we can take a closer look at him. Yeah, pretty much almost like a smaller version of the Vitra, whatever boss. So definitely looking pretty good. The dark one is actually probably my favorite one. Just the combination of black and red, my two favorite colors. The variant, yeah, not too bad. I do like it too. I guess we'll have to see how many soul stones we're able to get each week based on ranking and how many you need to actually summon him. I am hoping he doesn't require something ridiculous like 300 soul stones and we only get like 20 per event, because as you guys know, the world boss is only around once a month. So definitely hoping that it's not something ridiculous like that, especially after the Heroes dungeon that was just released. It's a laughable joke at best. Unfortunately, they're making really good improvements as far as like the game, as far as like aesthetically pleasing and things like that. But as far as like player stability and player retention, they're not doing a really good job at all. I think that 433 has really moved into the pay to play mode now, considering a lot of mobile games out there are ranking in quite a decent amount of income. But this is, overall, I'm not really liking it at all. It's kind of leading myself and a lot of other players to kind of leave the game. We're mainly free to play, so there's definitely some people out there willing to spend thousands of dollars on this game, but we're not. I am not one of those. But anyways, the two new Imperios or Emperatos look pretty good. The light type is a defender type. Comes in with 30,000 HP, 2,700 attack, 3,600 defense, and 2,250 recovery. All in all, really good, solid stats. I wish he had a little bit more HP, but he is a defender. For a defender, he does have a decent amount of attack, but the defense there is really high. He's mainly going to be an arena monster, mainly because his 3-star skill is Battle Rush, 10% of allies' HP and SP. And the 5-star skill is Shock, 60% chance to shock target for 2 turns. So he's a 2-turn shocker, which is really good. Definitely need some more of those in Arena. So he'll be really good as a defensive type mon. Again, matching really well his defensive type. So really good. His leader skill is a brand new leader skill. Its defensive stance decreases enemies' attack power by 35 to 40%. Obviously, the 40% being reserved to the level 6 variant leader skill. But all in all, it's actually a pretty decent amount of attack reduction. I guess we'll have to see how exactly that fares, considering that the Light Griffin is the thing now, along with the Fire Draka. As you guys know, Fire Draka ignores defense, and then the Fire Griffin reduces all resistance. Therefore, regardless of how you build him, if you come up against an attacker with a Light Griffin, you're probably going to die. So he is mainly going to be a better mon for the hidden monster slot, especially with the 2-turn shock there. So that should buy you some time. Unfortunately, though, I don't think he's going to be very viable, at least not in like high-end tier end game. He's mainly going to be like just like another one of those. Mainly like a trophy mon that you want to have in your box just because he looks cool, but will you actually use him? I don't know, maybe debatable. Maybe if you skill book them, if the skill books ever come out and they're like something like increase the stun or the shock, let's say for another turn, or if it's like a 80% chance to shock for 2 turns, then that might be a little bit better for him. But the skill books already cost enough as it is, and probably going to be a long time before they release one of his skill books. The 3-star skill I'm not really a fan of. It's only 10%, so he's only doing as much as Shadow does, or somebody else. But it's not really helpful. I would have preferred this to be a double shocker if he was going to be used in arena. If not a double shocker, maybe like a seal, or at least a thirst. Thirst and shock would have actually worked out pretty well for him. mainly because, on the weeks where it's not active skill weekend, he would at least have the thirst to apply in the second turn, after he gets attacked. So defensively is a pretty good monster, I guess, but on paper, not necessarily, mainly because of the battle rush. You mainly would only build him to use him during the active skill week, and that's basically it. He may be useful in the new Challengers Arena, mainly because if you have a leader type of him, you could use him as your attack team, which would actually be pretty good. You could use the two-turn shock there as your main ability first, and then have your other monsters basically just attack, and you could build them pretty glass cannon like. So you could build your attacking team would be very glass cannon. So you could have him as a leader, and your shocker, and then your other 3 slots for your monsters being all pure damage. So that could work maybe for the Challengers Arena. Who knows, I guess, whether or not he'll be up there, though. It will probably be a while before anybody manages to summon one of him. Personally, I don't really score that very high on the World Boss every week yet, because I don't have a lot of Evo 3 mons like a lot of the older players do, which again kind of falls back on the whole ordeal of 433 not really doing a good job of the balancing in the game right now. Older players have a huge gap, I guess, over the new players or medium players, mainly because they either slimed for a long time or they already had their mons, they've been playing for 3 years, and now Astrogen's being limited and all, and not entirely sure how that's going to work out. So that's it for the light one. The variant one is really nice. It's, really aesthetically pleasing. It's kind of sad that they didn't make any RPGs of them, red, blue, greens. I would have loved to be able to use one of these guys, maybe like as a courageous striker for the light titan. That would have been really cool. As you guys know, we need some more courageous strikers and blinders, maybe some more defense down, or weaken for the light titan. So it would have been nice to see maybe one of him having a version that could be used in titans. Would have been really, really nice. He actually would have gone along pretty well with the water sparket, kind of same model, dragonish kind of team there. So, but that's it for the light type. Again, the way that I would build him, sorry guys, I'm hopping back and forth here. The way that I would build him is probably, let's see, he's a defender type. I don't want to say defense crit rate too much, but that's probably going to be his best set. Maybe conviction, but like Griffin being a thing, I'm not entirely sure. You kind of want to get the most out of him, so I'd probably actually put him on a protection set with defense crit rate, or triple defense with a high amount of crit rate, just so that he could do a little bit more damage. Since he is going to be already defender type, he should be able to live a couple of turns, at least 3 turns, unless he's getting attacked by a dark attacker. But all in all, maybe, like I said, protection with triple defense with some really high crit rate. You would probably want him, though, at least 80% crit rate. So if you can't get 80%, do defense crit rate. And that's pretty much where I'm going to stick with him. But yellow one, normal, not variant, does look pretty nice too. Alright, so for the dark one is interesting, and it is going to be really interesting to see him being played out, whether it's CVC, Arena, or in the Challengers Arena. I don't see much use for him anywhere else other than maybe like storyline, but they're better monsters for storyline. The dark one is an attacker type. He comes in with 28,200 HP, 4,000 attack, so really high attack, 2670 defense, and 2320 recovery. He is a bit lackluster on the HP, but he makes up for it with that ginormous attack. So he is going to be a pure glass cannon. Not entirely sure how viable, again, he's going to be. It's going to be really interesting to see when somebody actually gets one of him. His 3-star skill is Battle Rush, so same as the light one. It just increases or attacks restore 10% of Alice HP and SP, so that's a guaranteed 10% of both every turn. So essentially, he could be healing and recovering SP at the same time. Maybe paired with the light one, they could be really good in arena, maybe like in an attacker team, like I said. You put 2 of those together, you got 20% of your own HP and SP every turn. Put him next to a fire Draka, and then you're looking at somewhere along the lines of like 35% HP and SP, or 35% SP and 20% HP. So that could be a pretty good healer type team. So you definitely would want to build them maybe along a water purse as well if you're going to put him on a defensive team. So maybe the light one, the dark one, a water purse, and maybe like a Shiba. They would be pairing pretty well just because you have a decent amount of attacks, some stuns, as well as some thirst and recovery. So be pretty good. Definitely interesting to see maybe 30% HP recovery there with a water purse and a light and a dark Emperio. So it would be really good. The 5-star skill is Hunter, increases critical hit damage by 40%. Again, the 40% here is kind of meant to balance him out, but it's stupid considering he's already a glass cannon as it is with the 28,000 HP. I think that needs to be at 50% in order to make him more usable or viable. But I mean, he is a nat 5, so if you get him, he's going to be mainly just going to be sitting in your box unless you manage to formulate a team around him. He might not work as well as you think he will on his own. You're going to need to rely heavily on your gems for him being an attacker, being dark type. You need him on a ruin, maybe like attack crit rate or attack crit damage. In general, you're going to get more out of your monsters if they're on full triple attacks. It'd be attack with a really high crit rate. But he's a dark type, so if you do attack and a crit damage, that should compensate for the lack of an extra attack gem, unless you have, let's say, 3 attack gems with, I don't know, maybe like 27% each, which would net you in close to like 85% chance to crit rate and triple attack. That would be pretty good, especially for a dark type. Again, leader skill, it's going to be really interesting to see how that's going to play out in arena or in Challengers Arena. CBC, I've noticed there's less people doing CBC every week now, even in our clan battles. It's kind of actually sad because CBC was a great way to get extra Astro Gems every week and place out and kind of challenge yourself to see how you stand against other players. But the less and less players I see active and online is just kind of defeats the purpose of doing CBC. It kind of sucks, but I really wish that 433 would do a little bit more about retaining some of the players and closing in on that gap that's like huge right now between the older players and the new players. Maybe they could do something where they could increase the gleams every week. Maybe like buy 2 gleams or 3 gleams from the arena every week. Because as of now, as it stands, getting 16 nat 5s to get 1 to Evo 3, it's going to take you over a year and a half before you manage to do that. And there are better places to spend those gems and things like that. So especially with gems being limited, 8,000 gems for 1 nat 5, let's say during a clans fast, or 9,000 gems is it's very costly, and it's not guaranteed whether or not you pull a nat 5 either. I've seen people go 12,000, myself included, 12,000 Astro Gems without a nat 5. So there is such a thing as bad RNG. All in all, though, the Imperios are actually really, really nice. I really wish that they would make some RPGs of them. At least, like I said, maybe see them outside of just the arena and CVC. But as of now, I'm going to say that they're going to be confined to the Challengers Arena and CVC, or arena in general. It's sad. Like I said, there's not much content where you can use them, but they are really, really nice. Congrats to one of you guys if you manage to get him here in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of months. Like I said, I don't really place that high every week. I need some more attacking mons. I've noticed that, attacking mons really do most of the damage in the world boss, so you don't necessarily healers. In the beginning, I was using a lot of healers thinking, oh, I'm going to need healers, but now I know that you don't really necessarily need healers. The only thing you need is defense down and basically attack up for all your monsters. So just try to get as many monsters to Evo 3 and just try to build them with as much attack as you can. This is mainly more of a attack, like punching bag event. So punching bag meaning like you're just going to hit it as hard as you can and hope that you deal the most amount of damage for that week. If you guys look at the rankings here, there are quite a few players like this guy here, 120,000 and just 3 attacks. Like you can tell he's got quite a decent amount of Evo 3 guys with quite a decent amount of ruin gems, and players that again have been at the game for over 3 years perhaps. So there's a huge gap between the middle player, the old player, and the new player right now, and the whole energy issue, not having enough energy every week, even with the new increases, they said they were working on a new energy system, and all they did was basically increase the amount of gem or energy that you get from the daily ad videos. So generally, or in other words, you're generating them revenue anyways by doing the ad videos just to get more energy. But it is what it is, guys. It's sad to say, but am I going to recommend the game to a lot of new players nowadays? No, it's huge time consumer. Unless you joined, a year ago, it's very difficult, and they need to do better. They have to do better if they want to keep their game open longer. But leave your comment in your section down below if you guys agree with me or if you don't. If you like the new changes, if you don't, let me know what you guys think about the new Imperios here. I think they're really good. On paper, they looked really good, but their active skills and their overall utility don't seem that great. He's, again, one of those trophy monsters just going to sit in your box for months, if not, maybe a year before you even get one. But let me know in the comment section down below if you guys like him or if you plan on using him somewhere else. If there's somewhere where that you think they could be useful, that you think maybe I have not looked into it, let me know in the comment section down below. I will catch you guys on the next video. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. Take it easy, guys.